Good evening, everybody. It's Saturday evening, the 16th of August, and we're making this this week's channel from Limerick in Southern Ireland. And welcome to my YouTube channel. It's the Abuse of Power, State and Legal. Today we're concerning ourselves with events in Limerick Circuit Civil Court before Judge Colin Daly on the 14th of July 2023. The issue here is that a Dublin-based law firm, Joint and Crawford Law Firm, and a Limerick-based self-employed barrister, Anita Finucane, have on purpose filed an untruthful sworn affidavit in Limerick Circuit Civil Court in repossession proceedings. The issue is that they have purposefully given an untruthful account of the direction given by Judge Colin Daly in open court on the 11th of February 2022 regarding the leave that Judge Daly gave me to issue a witness summons requesting the attendance of 3 AIB employees in court. The witness summons was subsequently dismissed in my absence, and we then had to get Judge Colin Daly back to determine what had happened. It took a staggering 17 months to get Colin Daly back. From the 11th of February 2022, Judge Colin Daly said to me, issue those summonses straight away, in accordance with court rules and with leave of the judge. Judge Daly returned on the 14th of July 2023, and this is the sequence of events that unfolded. And this is the ongoing issue with AIB loan 11876-020. Judge Daly had previously given me leave to issue a witness summons requesting the attendance of AIB employees. Okay, Judge Daly walked into court and the proceedings were called, the record number was called. I stood up before Judge Daly, and Judge Daly was immediately hostile, and he said to me, I'm here to deal with the substantive proceedings today, and he was referencing the repossession proceedings. I said, Judge, the repossession proceedings are not in a position to go ahead today. I said, you were asked to return to Limerick to see could you throw any light or to evidence that a Limerick-based barrister has given an untruthful account of the direction that you gave to me in open court. Judge Daly stared at me, I'm dealing with the substantive proceedings today. I said, the substantive proceedings can't go ahead, sir, until we determine this matter. And when this matter is determined, either side might have the right of appeal. I'm dealing with the substantive proceedings today. This is the way he addressed me. I said, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll progress. I stepped through with Judge Daly and I reminded him that I stood before him on the 11th of February 2022. Judge Daly asked me how long was the hearing going to take. I said it was going to take half a day. Well, why is it going to take half a day? I said, because I'm calling 3 AIB witnesses. Who was present was barrister Anita Finucane, who turned and said, first I've heard of it. Judge Daly turned and consulted with the court clerk. He said, when's the next date available that we have for hearing half a day? The clerk checked the diary and responded to Judge Daly that it was 6 weeks' time on Friday the 25th of March 2022. We then discussed court rules. Judge Daly asked me, was 6 weeks enough time to issue the witness summonses? And I said, court rules state that witnesses must be given reasonable time. Judge Daly said to the clerk, fix the hearing straight away, and said to me, issue the summonses straight away. I said, I can't do it today, it'll be Monday when I get it done. Judge Daly nodded at me like that. And I said, for clarity, are we going ahead in 6 weeks' time with 3 witnesses present and for hearing because you thought the hearing was today? He said, yes, issue those summonses straight away. In that intervening period, Joint and Crawford Law Firm and Anita Finucane filed on purpose an untruthful sworn affidavit in contravention of the perjury and Perjury and Related Offences Act 2021. So I stepped through with Judge Daly and I said, do you remember saying to me, issue the summonses straight away? Judge Daly stared at me like this. You seem to have a very good memory. I said, well, I made notes, Judge, when the matter was fresh in my mind. Judge Daly again started staring at me. I said, do you remember saying to the clerk, sir, issue the summons, checking when the next date in the diary was available? Do you remember saying to me, issue the summonses straight away? Do you remember discussing court rules? Do you remember you wrote down one of the names of the witnesses in your own diary? At no point in time did legal representation for the plaintiffs refute anything that I was saying. Just sat there and said nothing. This is what Judge Daly said. The court may have erred in allowing the issuance of a witness summons by the defendant. In any event, that witness summons was subsequently dismissed. The time period to appeal that decision to the High Court or to seek a judicial review has long since expired. I said, Judge, how long did I have to appeal that decision? The judge didn't know, and he turned to counsel. How long did he have to appeal it? Counsel responded 14 days. You'd 14 days to appeal it. I said, Judge, Joint and Crawford Law Firm waited 35 days to tell me that the hearing had taken place, dismissing the witness summons. I said, the court office sent my notice of the hearing to a wrong address, sir. I had no way of knowing that this hearing was on. Judge Daly responded the following. Judge Daly opined, your notice of hearing of the proceedings for the dismissal of the witness summons being sent to a wrong address is unfortunate. However, the court office is under no obligation to notify the defendant of a hearing. It's up to the defendant to watch the court list, the same as the solicitor's office would do. Your application reviewing my decision to dismiss the witness summons is hereby dismissed. I'm dealing with the substantive proceedings at 2 p.m. So we want to discuss here a few bits and pieces. Judge Daly may have erred again because when my notice was sent to a wrong address, on the previous date, the court was cancelled, and the court office sent me an email saying that they would notify me the next time of a hearing. And this was the reason that I didn't keep an eye on the court list, and that notification never came. Colin Daly said that the court may have erred in allowing the issuance of a witness summons by the defendant. That again is false. The witness summons was issued in accordance with court rules with the leave of the presiding judge, so the court didn't err. In addition, even if the court did err, he's kind of made an acknowledgement or an admission that the court gave me permission to request the attendance of witnesses. You know, that's enough to evidence the untruthful content of paragraph 6 of the sworn affidavit, where Anita Finucane alleged that Anita Finucane barrister law alleged that I was given permission to make an application to request the attendance of witnesses as opposed to issuing the summons directly. Okay, I then asked Judge Daly, had a criminal act taken place by Anita Finucane barrister at law and Joint and Crawford Law Firm? I referenced to Judge Daly the Legal Services Regulation Act 2015. It says misconduct by legal practitioners, section 50, subsection 1. A legal practitioner may be considered as constituting misconduct where the act involves section A, fraud or dishonesty. In the case of a barrister, is likely to bring the barrister's profession to disrepute. In the case of a solicitor, is likely to bring the solicitor's profession to disrepute. Judge Daly opined in open court that Anita Finucane, barrister at law, had not brought the barrister's profession to disrepute, and he further opined that solicitor Siobhan Kane and law firm Joint and Crawford hadn't brought the solicitor's profession to disrepute. He further opined, when I asked him, did the Legal Services Regulation Act 2015 apply to these proceedings? He said no, the Legal Services Regulation Act didn't apply to these proceedings. So I don't know how he's coming up with that one. What also comes into play here is the Criminal Justice Perjury Related Offences Act 2021. That act was not discussed in front of Judge Colin Daly on the 14th of July 23. So the question this arises, judges are exempt from prosecution. You know, for sentencing, if a judge gives a harsh sentence, or a lenient sentence, a suspended sentence, or a concurrent sentence, or if a judge awards damages that are high, or a judge awards damages that are low, a judge may give his or her view on a piece of statute or a piece of facts, judges are exempt from prosecution for doing their duty. However, the question that's raised here is, what was the function of the judge? When Judge Colin Daly came face to face with an allegation of perjury in open court, and that perjury was on sworn affidavit, and it was relating to the direction that he gave in open court, the authors of the affidavit are not telling the truth. What was the function of the judge? Should Judge Daly have taken into consideration that the plaintiffs didn't refute what I said? Did Judge Daly have a duty to refer the matter to the Director of Public Prosecutions or to the Gardaí, or to examine court records or examine his diary? He'd done nothing. He'd done none of these things, nothing whatsoever. It raises the question, was Judge Daly impartial? That's pretty much it. That's where we are this week. I subsequently made a complaint to the Judicial Council, and Colin Daly was given a copy of the complaint of everything that I've referenced here in this. But the Judicial Council had no authority to deal with Colin Daly. And the reason being is this. The Judicial Council Act 2019, Admissibility of Complaints, Section 53, subsection 3. Conduct by a judge concerned in proceedings which a remedy has been provided or may be provided if pursued by the complainant is not admissible. So basically what that means is, if I appeal the decision to the higher court, then there's a remedy available. The Judicial Council can't examine the judge once there's a remedy available on appeal. And I did appeal my decision, and my remedy was granted. But this leaves us with the situation that the actions of a serving judge haven't been examined. So it's the serious question. Did Judge Colin Daly come face to face with the criminal act of perjury in open court? And if he did, what was the function of the judge? He basically didn't investigate the matter. So that's where we are. Judge Daly dismissed my application, reviewing dismissal of the witness summons, and then he turned and said, "I'm dealing with the substantive proceedings at 2 p.m." And he was referencing the repossession proceedings. This matter happened before lunch, and he got up, he rose, and he went to lunch. So next week we'll deal with the repossession proceedings. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, if you like the content of the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. And hopefully this matter will find its way around our political channels and maybe into our legal channels, and somebody may spot something in this that requires warrants further investigation. Thank you.